Good morning. It's a beautiful morning today. Today we're going to talk about chamomile, how to harvest, prepare it for tea in the dehydrator, and then the final result. It is a beautiful morning today. So we're going to start off and just get right into it with picking the chamomile. Chamomile is definitely one of my favorite things to have in the garden. It has a lot of uses, mostly for relaxation and tea. It helps with aches and pains. Also can be used in soap, but it just is a very all-around good thing to grow in your garden. Also good for pollinators. This plant in particular has already flowered 3 times, and it is a very hardy plant. It loves the sun, but also started growing back in February, so it overwintered very well. This plant also was 3 times this size of this one that you see here, and I had to cut it back because it was taking over the whole pathway. So it's very, very hardy plant, very prolific. Definitely have to put this plant somewhere in your garden that you're not gonna mind if it spreads, because it does spread very, very easily. So it can take over. Like I said, I had to cut it back, so just put it somewhere that has some space. All right, we're going to speed this up just a little bit. So to pick the chamomile, as you've already seen, you just grab them with your first finger and thumb and just pinch them off. Easy as that. Okay, so now that you've rinsed off your chamomile and strained it, I'm gonna put it in your dehydrator. And the dehydrator that I have is very basic. It just has one setting and it works great. You just have to kind of keep an eye on your stuff that you put in there every now and then, because it does have just the one setting, but it works just perfect. So I'm spreading these out here, trying not to pile them up. Just want one nice layer. And I've used foil, but you can use parchment paper. I just didn't have parchment paper at the time to keep them from falling through the cracks there. Try to keep just a little bit of ventilation. Try not to cover up all the holes completely, but you do have that one in the middle there that creates the most heat. So yeah, you can fold back the foil or the paper so that you can get a few more little airways through there to get it to come through. But anyway, so just go ahead and put them in there, and then I'm gonna put the lid on. The stems that are on the flowers are okay to use. The entire plant is edible, so no worries on those. Place the lid on top and plug her in. And now, after about 2.5 hours, these are done. When you feel them, you should not feel any sponginess. They should just kind of crumble a little bit in your fingers if you pinch them. So kind of pinch one and test it, and you'll see that it just kind of crumbles and falls apart. That is perfect. Ready for tea. So this will keep with an airtight container for about a year. Alrighty, now that we're ready for the tea, you can just get a little teapot or a strainer of some kind. There's lots of different kinds, but they have to have tiny little holes so that the stuff doesn't fall into your actual tea. But you pour that in there, and you want to use almost boiling water, so not boiling, but very hot. And pour it over those, and then let it sit for about 5 to 7 minutes, however strong you think you might want it. And that is basically it for chamomile tea. Pour yourself a cup. You can add just a little bit of sugar if you want, but it's a very unique flavor. It's really good. So hope you enjoyed this video about learning how to make chamomile tea, and hope it helps you relax. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hope you all have a really nice one. Take care.